Hi. Good morning. Hold on, let me turn off my dehumidifier. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robyn Smith. It's Monday, so it's time to make something together. Okay. Make With Me Monday. We're gonna make bubble scoops. Also, oh, that reminds me that I need to go get my fragrance oil. Otherwise, I have everything. So, 1 second. Hold on. Don't go. Okay. Okay, we're ready. So today, I'm gonna use MASTERBATCH Wonder Bar. So that means that it is Wonder Bar that I made ahead of time. Okay. And you can do this with Wonder Bar. It's kind of awesome because it means that you don't have to go through the process of like grabbing everything and prepping it all at every single time. So you can master batch as much as you want, set it aside, use it later. It's going to speed up your production like a ton. And I'm here for that, for you, for that, okay? So, highly recommend master batching. Oh, okay. I did have one. My throat is telling me it's going to do something wicked to me very soon. I don't like that. I woke up this morning, I was like, ugh. Okay. So, master batching, highly recommend. If you've never seen me talk about it before, if you've never done it, I will leave a link in the description to a blog post that Amanda wrote about a master batching Wonder Bar. But basically, you just get everything ready. You just don't add the rubbing alcohol or the fragrance oil, and then you add that later. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Okay, so because of this, you know, I get to decide how much I want my batch to weigh. And so I'm going to have my batch weigh today, for me, today, on this day for me. I usually go with 800 grams because that's like the actual batch size, I think, or 860 I think is the actual batch size for Wonder Bar. But I'm trying to make a certain amount, so I'm actually gonna do 1100 today, I think. I am. Okay. So I have my bowl on my scale, and I'm just gonna start pulling, and I'm gonna do it by grams. So the really cool thing about doing Wonder Bar this way is that, in my opinion, it might not make a difference maybe for bubble scoops, but especially for bubble frosting, for some reason I feel like it really helps it like just come together better and like faster. Like, I don't know, it like whips up fluffier to me somehow. So that's just like my opinion, man. Okay. So actually I am just going to do 860 because I just realized that I said I was going to do Wonder Bar frosting for Patreon after party. So I want to leave some just in case I follow through with that, because I think that actually, like earlier today, I was thinking that I might want to do Bubble Magic bubble wands, like the ones that you blow through. I think that that's what I'm going to do for Patreon, so. Okay. And now I'm going to add my fragrance oil. And if you ever have problems with your fragrance oil spilling all over the place, you can set a thingamajig like this, like so, next to it, and the fragrance oil will run down the sticky stick, and then not all over your table or your hands or your scale. Literally every place you don't want it to be. All right, I'm gonna check the Facebook because I don't see comments. Doesn't mean you're not commenting. Doesn't mean you are. So I don't want you to feel. What are all these notifications? Literally every morning. Oh, there's so many comments. Literally every morning, I spend about 45 minutes clearing out my comments for the day. Like, I'll clear them out in the morning. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to clear out my comments. Like, it's like literally, it's a lot. So I haven't done that today. I don't always do it on Fridays or Mondays. So I haven't done it yet today. But anyway. Okay, Sarah said what we were making, and then they said that's fun, and then love the sweater. Oh my gosh, we have this one, take a bath you filthy animal, and it's Santa in a bathtub with like 2 bath bombs. We have this one, and then we also have one on our Etsy that says wash your hands you filthy animal, and then it has different things on it. It's super cute. I wear them all the time in the winter because also it's like a long sleeve t-shirt, so it's like super comfy. Anyway, Nectaria says, hi. Laura says elderberry. I don't know what that comment is too, but tell me. I'm interested. I need to make, elderberry cough syrup. Yeah. I need to make some elderberry glycerin is what I like to do. I like to use glycerins for cough things. Sue says, hi from Australia. It's 3 a.m. Oh my God, are you a night owl or are you just like, what? I will go to bed at 3 or 4 a.m. every day and still get up at like 9:30 or 10. But why, Nectaria, you tell me, is Facebook doing this to you too for the comment things? I don't understand. They like updated, I suppose, and it's just wrecked everything. Okay, so there's my mix. It's ready. Let me grab a paddle. I probably don't need a cover for this, but since it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and grab my cover just so it doesn't like kick up stuff when it's like starting up. And let me grab some rubbing alcohol. Okay, I'm going to use 91%. You could also use 99%. Although in my opinion it dries a little bit too fast for my preferences. Or you could, that's it. We're naming it. Okay, anyway, I'm going to start adding the rubbing alcohol. If it's your first time making Wonder Bar, you're probably not master batching it. But if it is your first time making Wonder Bar, you're probably looking at the instructions, and they have very specific amounts for rubbing alcohol, which I completely ignore. Amanda and I work on recipes separately. Sometimes we'll work together on them, but a lot of times we work on them separately. So Wonder Bar is really Amanda's little brainchild that this was started everything for baptism foam, but there are so many recipes where she writes it and I'm like, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this other different way. But it still works. Okay? That's why, like, when we're troubleshooting with people and I ask, did you make any substitutions? Did you follow the steps or whatever? Like, a lot of times people will tell me they did it to a T. And then I know that number one, you probably didn't, but also you don't have to. Like, you're not going to be in trouble. I'm only asking because then that lets me know, like, where do we stand on things. Because sometimes you say, like, people say, yeah, I substituted for the instead of avocado oil, I used grapeseed oil. Did that make a difference? No, that didn't make a difference. It's fine. Other times we'll have people say, like, I didn't have any SLSA, so I just substituted it for cornstarch. Or something like that, where it's like, those two, the Venn diagram for like where those overlap is like powder. That's it. Everything else about them is so different. So those are not, you can't substitute those. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna make this a 2-color bubble scoop. I love doing this. It's so much fun to me. I just like it. It's fun. Okay. Oh, well, what's happening? Facebook. Okay. And Laura said for my throat, yeah. Elderberry. I actually have an entire apothecary's worth of stuff over there. Okay. So when Wonder Bar gets to this point, it's kind of, it's holding together in a big lump. It's not sticking to the sides, and it's not really sticking to your gloves, but it will hold together in a big clump. That to me is perfect scooping texture. Or if you're gonna use a 3D printed mold, which it's a little bit more difficult to do that. 3D printed mold is a little bit more difficult to work with Wonder Bar, but that is the texture that you're going for. If I was this would probably work pretty well for a bubble roll too. I like it to be a little bit wetter for a bubble roll. But that's my suggestion, is to base it off of the texture that you're going for. Okay. So I'm going to split this batch. It's going to be 860 grams plus whatever rubbing alcohol I added to it. I can't do that math. In Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the teacher's like, well, I can't do that fraction, so let's just say you did this, you know, like, it's funny. Anyway, we're doing 949 divided by 2. Okay. You don't have to do it exact. I just wanted to. So I'm going to put half of it back in here. And keep this other half out over here. Now, last week when I did the 2-color bath bombs, I also did this, but I'm going to show you again. I'm going to use I am going to use this to separate it. I just realized color theory. I forgot to even talk about my color theory today. Okay, so let's talk about my color theory. I'm going to use the scoop is supposed to look like this when it is done. I'm not really happy with the orange. Doesn't have a lot of contrast, unfortunately. I think that as the pink fades, the orange will have a little bit more contrast in there, but they're supposed to be pink and orange, okay? So I'm going to start off by coloring the entire batch pink. And here's something really cool about orange. Let me tell you. Might be too much, might not be enough. We're about to find out. So, okay, it's looking okay. Okay, I'm going to add some mica to it as well to stabilize that color, because pink in particular has a tendency to fade, which I would not mind if it fades some, but I don't want it to lose all of its color. So I'm going to add a little bit of mica to kind of help it hold its color. It's all coming back to me now. I could have literally looked at my back sheets that are right over there still hanging, that haven't been taken to where they're supposed to go, but did I do that? No. No, I did not. Okay, so now I'm going to split it. Okay? Now I'm going to split it. Charlie bucket. Alright, here we go. So I'm just going to split it into the amount that I know that it is this time, instead of putting it in a bucket, transferring, blah, blah, blah. Also, if you notice, the more you mix it, the wetter it typically gets. So if you're having trouble with your Wonder Bar, it's possible that you just need to give it a little bit more time to mix. Another thing that you can do, I'm looking for a towel. Another thing that you can do is I like to add, so where's my master batch? So this is Wonder Bar OG formula with approximately 2% bioturge, and I prepped this batch November 22nd, 2024. I have actually better day dots, but I couldn't find them. So I like to add about 2% of bioturge, or you could use a different co-surfactant if you wanted to. But because bioturge is excellent at wetting, it has very good wetting properties. Not wetting like marriage, not like that, but like wetting, like getting it wet. It helps the recipe kind of get wet faster, so it helps you get to that stage faster. You don't have to do that. I just like to mention it whenever, because it's just like the new thing I've been doing, and I'm like into it. And like anything I like doing, I typically want all my friends to do too. Like I'm one of those people. Like somebody last night, I was playing games with my friends, and one of them couldn't make it because her back hurt, and I was like, oh, have you heard about acupuncture? And I literally went into like, afterwards I was like, I'm sorry, I literally just did like, I tried to convert you to my religion type of speech about acupuncture, but I'm like a firm believer in acupuncture. So anything that I'm like, I do this, I want everybody else that I love and hold dear to do it. Okay, so here's the thing about orange. You could use yellow 6, which looks orange, okay? However, it's not a very pretty orange to me, and it doesn't color the water. Now, that actually could be something that you use to your advantage if you don't want the water to be like a yellowy color, but it just doesn't have enough oomph in itself to really add any color to the water. But if you mix red 27, no, that's, hold on. If you mix red 27 and yellow 5 together, you can get orange. And I know it's holiday time for us, maybe. Is it for you? And you're like, I'm not gonna use orange. Well, that's okay. I'm just telling you that you can, okay? I'm not telling you you have to. Okay, so I'm gonna put my orange over here. And you can see it's like a really nice, like, it's like a neon orange. It's like a hot, hot orange. I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite way to make orange, and I don't know, I just really like it. I also have, I've been working on some color blends. If you're in our Destash group, you've seen me post them. I've thought about posting them here in the big group, but so far, like, I'm just announcing them in the Destash group because they go so fast that, like, I don't need to, not that I don't need to give it to you as well. I'm just saying, like, they're going really fast, so, like, it's fine for now. But yeah, so, I don't know what I was saying. Just do my, okay, here we go. So we have our scoops here. We have our scoops there. Hold on, let me bring this bowl back. Ta-da. Okay, so to make them multicolored scoops with like a really fun random texture, we're gonna do this. Everything I know about bubble stuff in general, I learned from Amanda. Because I was never able to get bubble scoops or bubble rolls or any of that to work for me because I live in Texas and it's extremely humid here. So either the bubble scoops would never, like, they would just never dry, or they just would puff up. I don't know. Like, it was just super frustrating. It's expensive because it has a lot of surfactant in it. Surfactants are expensive ingredients. And so I just kind of like gave up on it. And then after our original boot camp, I told Amanda, I was like, that was fun, but the bubble things that I made are never going to dry for me because they just don't dry for me here. And then that's when she was like, hold my beer. And then she, a couple weeks later, was like, hey, you want to test this? It was Wonder Bar, tested it. And the rest is history. It's the beginning of a very bubbly relationship. Okay. So now we have kind of a random mishmash in there. Mishmash. Okay. Now you can go away. So now we have a random mishmash in there. And now we scoop. So I'm going to use this scoop. It's the Pioneer Woman scoop from Walmart. This is the best scoop in the world. So Walmart, hear me. Please don't get rid of this. This is my second one that I've had in at least, it's probably 5 or 6 years. So I just got my second one. And because one of the things is like people always say like, oh, my ice cream scooper breaks. So number one, if it's with Wonder Bar and it breaks, then the texture is not right. Like it should not be that hard where the scooper, the plunger part is breaking. So it should not be that hard. Secondly, especially with Wonder Bar, it shouldn't be that hard. When I broke the last one that I had, I broke it because I was working on a different recipe that wasn't Wonder Bar. So there you go. There's your sign. So yeah, I will also include a link probably to this in the description, although I've noticed that the Walmart links are like insane. Like anytime I try to link something from Walmart, it's insane. It'll be like a link that's longer than the Nile, okay? And I just don't understand why. Why, Walmart? Why are we doing that? See those happy little scoops? If you want them to be a little bit more ruffly looking, like these ones. So this mix was probably just a little bit drier. I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Work off of what works for you. Do you. Okay. Each scoop of Wonder Bar, I believe, is like 3.5 to 4 ounces. That's a guess on my part. And each scoop is about 1 bubble bath's worth of bubbles. I did say in the link description that I was going to give you guys some ideas for packaging. So that's, okay, you can't really see it, but on the table behind me, I have some stuff that I'm going to show you in just a minute when I have these gloves off. Gloves are off, babe. Hold me back. Hold me back. Okay, anyway. When these gloves are off, I will show you. But really, it's going to come down to educating your customers about how to use a bubble scoop if they've never used a bubble scoop before. Because if you have somebody who is a Lush fanatic, they will know what to do with it, okay? You don't have to train them on how to do it. But if you have somebody who has never used a bubble scoop before and has never seen it, is unclear on the concept, you're going to have to explain to them that it's solid bubble bath and that just like regular bubble bath, you wouldn't fill your bathtub with water and then add liquid bubble bath to your bathtub and then expect it to make bubbles, right? So same thing with a solid bubble scoop. You can't just throw it in the water and expect it to make bubbles. Also, if you're making a bubble bath, you wouldn't just put the bubble, like if the water's running, you still wouldn't just like put it in the middle of the tub, right? You need to hold it under the running water. You want to get that vigorous bubbling action going. Whoa, wet gloves. You could also include an organza bag and then tell them that they can hold it. You know, they put that under the faucet. Missed a little section. They could put that under the faucet as the water runs. I have found personally that if the scoop is crumbled, that it makes more bubbles than if you just leave it solid. So I've started telling people to crumble the scoop or chop it up, and it can be fun sensory play for kids if they want to chop it up. So that's my suggestion that I would give to your customers. But for you guys, I would also suggest, my son added one of these to every single bag, and I don't. But this is a QR code that when my customers scan it, it's supposed to go on anytime they buy, they have something that's a solid bubble bath in their purchase. We include this QR code. It takes them to an Instagram video where I'm showing them how to use a bubble bath. I will probably move that video to my website so that even if they don't have Instagram, they can see the video, but it tells them exactly how to use a bubble scoop when they do the QR code on that. You cannot tell your customers enough times how to use a product, okay? You cannot overstate it. You cannot tell them as many times as you can. Tell them when they buy it. Tell them when they're looking at the stuff. Tell them as they're checking out. Put a thing on there to tell them on the instructions. You're gonna have to tell them multiple times because people forget and they don't pay attention. Hi, that's me. I don't pay attention. So you're gonna need to tell them multiple times. Additionally, if you're having trouble moving bubble scoops, mooncake domes are very attractive. They're very pretty. They kind of elevate the entire thing. So mooncake domes. What we're doing for Christmas or holiday markets is we have these frosted boxes that I was hesitant to bring in here because I know me. They're not supposed to be anywhere close to me. So it's this holiday box and it has this sliding sleeve on it. They're very nice looking. I got these boxes on Amazon. They require a degree in astrophysics from Degree University to put together. They are not self-explanatory. They are not intuitive. They are difficult to put together. The whole time I'm putting them together, I'm cussing. I was teaching my husband how to put them together, and he, the whole time he's like, "This is dumb. These are stupid." I was like, "I know." And then you get done and you're like, but it looks so good. So then you forget how bad it looks. But this we're gonna do, and then we're gonna have these gold foil stickers that are gonna go over the top. So it's gonna really up that elegance to it, right? And it'll have a sticker that goes on the back, tells them how to use it. There'll also be stickers inside underneath each scoop telling them how to use it. Can't tell them enough, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So, and then we call these gourmet bubble bath. Ooh la la. Okay, then this is our $20 price point item at a show. So when we're going to a holiday show, we're gonna have stuff that is a $10 price point, right? You have $10 price point. You have a $20 price point, right? And you keep having those different price points, and it depends on what show we go to. But sometimes we just bring, like my husband's doing the holiday market, so he's doing the Nutcracker market, so he's only going to be taking box sets like that are already laid out. For the bubble scoops, you can't choose, but our next box set is kind of an either or, so people can pick between this body butter and that body butter. They can pick between this soap and that soap, and this scrub and that scrub, right? But that's it. They don't get like to mix and match it wildly. So think about like when you go to McDonald's, you go to Burger King, you go to whatever, and they have these combo meals. It's just faster to order that, right? I'm just gonna order that. And especially people are looking for gifts, like they don't know what other people want, so they just want it to look pretty and nice, and then they put it in a thing and then they give it away. So highly suggest thinking about doing something like that. I guess that's all. I was gonna show you something else. Oh, I don't have any, but I was thinking last night another thing that you could do, especially for the mini scoops, because they're so cute. They're like so cute. You know those like cardboard, they're like party favor cups or whatever, but it's like a cardboard paper cup, and you could put like a bunch of the mini scoops in that, put some cellophane over it, put a little ribbon on it, and then that's really cute. So like, especially when you're thinking about holiday markets in general, you want to be thinking about making it cute. If it doesn't have to, like, not everything has to have a bow, right? But like something like that where it's like very simple, but if you added a bow, it just kind of elevates it. Do it. The boxes here, I was going to originally use these frosted labels that we have for it, but because I already have gold foil labels, we're just going to use that, right? So just that tiny thing I think is really going to elevate it and bring it from being this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, but you know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Okay. The last thing I wanted to show you doesn't have anything to do with bubble scoops. I want to show you the completed Dino dig sets. I don't think I showed you guys these yet. Okay, these were from the bubble dust thing we did the other day. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I feel like we added these as assets somewhere, the labels. But this is my little label. It's a Dino dig set. On the back, it tells them how to use it. Right here, it tells them everything that's included. Shows a little kid finding a dinosaur, right? When we open it up, it also has a warning here. If you're gonna ever have anything that has toys, you need to make sure that you have a warning that it's not for children under 3 or whatever it is, you know, whatever your local requirements are. So inside, and this still needs a label, but this is gonna say Dino Dirt. So this is the dirt. Originally I was gonna put these inside of the dirt, but I decided to leave it out just in case like the parents want to put it together first and bury it, or keep it separate and bury it, take it out of the packet, you know, just to kind of make it a little bit more authentic. But this is their dinosaur puzzle. It has a little brush so they can brush through the dirt when they're, I wanted a bigger brush, but like I don't have time to order more. Anyway, a little paintbrush would be like a 1-inch paintbrush would be really cute, but I don't have one. I have a little pipette so they can drop water on it. It has a scoop so they can scoop through it. It has a little tongue depressor so they can scoop through that. It has this little tiny container. I have no clue what kids would do with either of these two, but like my children used to play with bowls and Tupperware. So like kids are creative enough, they'll figure out something to do with it. I was thinking like you would take a sample and like put a sample in there, put some water in there and like do the dropper, whatever. Kids love little tiny things like this. And then I have these lip gloss tubes that I ordered on Amazon. They're not the right size that I was expecting. I was expecting a full-size lip gloss. So imagine my honestly, it was kind of delightful to see how tiny they were. But I have had no clue what to do with these for a long time. I am by no means going to be making that many lip gloss samples. I'm not interested in that at all. So I don't know what a little kid would do with this. My husband was like, what would they do? I was like, I don't know. Little kids do, like, they're just creative. So I don't know what they'll scoop things, put things inside here, you know, whatever little kids are going to do. So that's their complete Dino Dig set. And it will probably have a set of further instructions inside. But I wanted to show you guys that because somebody had asked on the picture that I did where I showed the Dino Dig Dirt, basically, you know, do people need to know how to make bath dust? I don't know. You might, and if you do, that's okay. But also, knowing how to put like these sets together, kind of knowing like what's going to be a cute set to do. We also are going to have a Mad Scientist set that we're going to put together. So just something cute like that. I think it's very easy to do. It's very easy to do, right? This was very easy, and then the rest of it is just. These are scoops that I bought for bath salts a while ago, and I just didn't end up using. So I could order new ones if I wanted to, but I don't have to. I already have pipettes in stock. I already keep these little brushes for paint your own kits. I like dinosaurs and I like skeletons, so I already had these, but you could go buy something different. And again, this is all stuff that I already had in-house. One second. So, just, you know, you can be creative with it. This is an alternative, though, I wanted to show you guys, because if you couldn't find those sets, like, you can still find things like this, which is like just a dinosaur skeleton toy, and you could put that in there, and that would be just as much fun. So, let me check the Facebook, see if I have comments, because that's how we're doing it now these days, apparently. And this is a way to watch this later. I'm not here mentally. Oh no, you had surgery on Friday. Oh my gosh. Be well, okay? Like, go take care of yourself. It takes so long to recover sometimes, even from something small. Okay, yeah, and you can always watch it later. It's posted, it's pinned in the group. If you can't find it pinned, then there's like a Excel spreadsheet with like every Facebook live that I've done, with the exception of like a few that were on the other. Anyway, it's a ton. There's a ton of videos. You're never gonna run out of videos. Danielle says they would be great in a paint your own bath bomb kit. Yay, I think so too. Nancy said DNA testing the dinos. Yeah, like whatever it is, like little kids are gonna think of these things themselves. I also thought about putting a microscope in there, but I'm like running low on these. But look, you can see like I'm saving this one even though I've used it. I'm running low on these. So I thought about adding this though too, because I mean little kids love anything that's like tiny and stupid like this. It's like, it's completely useless. Why are you playing with that? They love that. Okay, so, and Nectarissa said started putting a pipette in your paint your own kits, and they're a hit. The kids like to paint with the pipette. You're gonna have to explain what? So they're like dropping the color on it? That's interesting. You guys are so good. See, like, I didn't think of all this. I just bring all the ideas together and then give them to you. So I love it when you guys share and teach me stuff too. Okay, that's pretty much it for today. I'm gonna leave these in my drying area. They're gonna take a couple days to dry. These ones were made on the 22nd. I'm not gonna pound it because they're hard. They still feel like maybe ever so slightly wet to me, but they're hard. They're not going nowhere. If you drop it, it's still a scoop. Okay, might be a little cracked, but so they do dry hard. You don't want it to dry so hard that it's impossible for your customer to crumble it, in my opinion, because you want them to crumble it. But so these were made 2 days ago. I do keep my dehumidifier on in my drying area, so that can help speed up the drying process. But just wanted to show that to you. Okay. All right, if you're in Patreon, come over to Patreon. I think that we're gonna do, I have this mold. I said I was gonna do Wonder Bar frosting. I'm sorry, I lied. I have this mold that I found, and it has like a little boom, and you put a hole in it. This is from a Australian maker lady. I cannot remember her name. Anyway, if you remember, you can tag it. We're gonna use Bubble Magic to make some bubble wands in Patreon. That's what we're gonna do. I changed my mind. Yeah. Patreon after party starts at 2, so I'll see you guys there if you're in Patreon. If not, you can always watch the replay as well in Patreon. And I'll share links in the description after this is over. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And as always, happy making. Bop.